Well, think about it. If you suddenly, tragically lost about 2/3 of your employees, could you ever rebuild and be one of the most in-demand CEOs at the World Economic Forum?
Liz Klayman is in Davos, Switzerland, with the man who did just that.
He's an all-American CEO who has opened more than 100 businesses worldwide, many of them after 9/11. He is Howard Lutnick, the chairman and CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald and BGC Partners, and Davos is his stomping ground. 19 years you've been coming?
A lot of years.
That's a lot of years. You do it mostly for networking, deal-making. Why are you here?
So first, you meet so many people. You can just stand still in the middle of the Congress Center, and in and out, everybody comes. You say hello to everybody, you talk to them, and then you can see them outside of the normal in-the-office business environment. You know, I met Barry Gossin, who runs our real estate business. He joined my board, and then later I bought his company, all from Davos.
Oh, so they're actual deals that at least the seeds are sown here.
That's right. It creates the personal relationship that you know that you're going to be able to do business outside and make it work.
Okay, we should mention the real estate business that apparently the genesis of it was here has been huge for you guys.
Yeah, so we started with Newmark Knight Frank, and then we bought Grubb and Ellis, brought the two together, and it's really doing great. And very, very low interest rates is great for real estate. The commercial real estate, obviously, if you can finance it very cheaply, right? And that's low interest rates always good for somebody. Not that good for, and you're in the finance business, but in the real estate business, it's excellent.
Yeah, not great for savers, but it's been good at least for that part of your business, which has brought in a lot of revenues. What is the most interesting conversation you've been a part of since you arrived in Davos this time around?
So last night I met the Taoiseach, which I only learned this trip is the Irish word for the Prime Minister of Ireland. And what I thought was really interesting was that he was very focused on business. He came here, and his whole group is here to say we're open for business, we're focused on business. You know, you're in France, and they're talking about bank compensation and cutting, and they're very negative towards business. Here was Ireland completely here, focused on trying to bring jobs in, to try to get his young people jobs. He was focused on building, and I thought that was just refreshing.
And you've bought a business in Ireland. You're doing business there, correct?
Right. So we just bought Dolman Securities, about 90 people, but I think we'll add hundreds of jobs there, and that's the idea. You know, if it's a friendly environment, great education, you know, Dublin's a great city. I think they're really going to build themselves out. They've done a great job coming back from the bailout, and the way they're doing it is focused on jobs, jobs, jobs.
You are one of the some 20, not many firms who have been granted the ability to do trading on behalf of the Federal Reserve and on behalf of the government. You know, if they were to finally tighten rates, would that help your business a bit? I know it might hurt your commercial real estate business, but you know, rates at 0 to 1/4% have killed certain segments of business out there.
Of course. I mean, you have a 2-year note at 0.2. I mean, what kind of rate is 0.2? That's not an interest rate. That's sort of, you know, you have $1 million investment in U.S. Treasury, you buy coffee at the end.
I was going to say that's change under my sofa seats, you know, the cushions.
So what you're going to see is when there's $7 trillion of this liquidity, this quantitative easing that the federal government has just thrown in, that's sloshing around, that's causing these rates to be so low, right? They've really made U.S. Treasuries a non-investable good. I mean, it's a storage facility. It's not really an investment. And then what's going to happen is when they try to take that money out, what you're going to see is all the analysts of the world are immediately going to say, okay, money's coming out, even if they take just this much out, and they're immediately going to point to, you remember in 2007, interest rates were over 5%.
Correct.
So what's going to happen is that's the scary part. What's going to happen when they try to start to take it out? And the answer is I think everyone's going to look to push rates hard that way. When interest rates come back up, think of it, the federal government's going to have to start paying interest on that gigantic $16 trillion deficit, and turns around it goes.
What is your best bet in 2013?
So I still like all the low interest rate investments. So I think gold stays well, right? I think art does well. Diamonds do well. All those things, real estate, commercial real estate's going to do great. Anything that has a base on low interest rates. So commercial real estate is probably a great place where people can invest, make yield, and get growth, and succeed in the long term. So I really like real estate as a business. You saw that Blackstone bought residential, right? Because they see the same thing, and they're going to fix them up and renting them out. But the idea is up comes real estate because interest rates are so darn low.
Howard, thank you very much.
Great to
Howard
see you.
Lutnick, Chairman and